All right, today we're looking at correlative conjunctions. Correlative conjunctions. This is page 105. Should be for Wednesday, page 105. So you need to be on that page in your packet. Got some flyaway hairs going on here. Now, those are big words, correlative conjunctions, but they're really not too bad. Correlate means to go together. Correlate means to go together. So when we talk about these, we're thinking about two words that work together in a sentence. They might not be next to each other, but they work together. You'll see why. Let's read together in the box. Correlative conjunctions always work in pairs, right? They correlate, they work together. They connect two words, phrases, or clauses that are parallel. We talked about clauses yesterday, right? Independent and dependent clauses. So these are just parts of sentences that are being connected. You'll see when we get there. Correlative conjunctions include, get your highlighter ready because we are going to highlight these words so that we can look back really easy to find them, because that's what we're going to find at the bottom when we do our activity is the correlative conjunctions. So you can pause the video and find your highlighter. Okay, that's not for you. I'm recording this on a Friday, so. Okay, here we go. So I am highlighting both and. So both and, those two words that go together. Either or, you might have heard those before, either or. Neither nor. Neither Mrs. Goodwin nor Mrs. Chase have covered matter in science. Do you see how that can work in a sentence together? Neither Mrs. Goodwin nor Mrs. Chase have covered matter in science. Okay. The next one is not only, but also. Not only, but also. We'll find an example in the bottom. And then whether and or. Whether you decide to have vanilla ice cream or chocolate ice cream, it's still going to be delicious, right? Okay. The example says correlative conjunctions. Not only did they make the station a museum, but they also created a special habitat. So that in that sentence, they used the correlative conjunction not only and but also. Okay. So here's our activity. In fact, this time I'm just going to have you circle the correlative conjunctions. You don't even have to underline the words or phrases they connect, because basically it's the rest of those two sentences, or rest of the sentence. We're just going to circle the correlative conjunctions. Okay, we highlighted them at the top, so this should be easy peasy. Number 1, neither the museum nor the historian could find more than one picture of the surfmen. Does that sound familiar? Neither the museum nor the historian could find more than one picture of the surfmen. I know that neither and nor is two correlative conjunctions that work together, so I'm going to circle both of those words in my sentence, neither and nor. Okay, number 2. Both the crew and the surfmen felt relieved. Check above what two words are included. Both and, right? That's our first option right here, both and. And both of those words are used in the sentence below. So number 2, we circle both and. Circle them on your paper. Remember that you can pause this video at any time if I go fast, or you can rewind if you want to understand something a little bit better. Now, for numbers 3, 4, and 5, let's read the instructions. Use the correlative conjunctions in parentheses to join the two sentences. Write a new sentence. This is the part that I will have you write the new sentence. You can do this. It is writing just the same words that are on here. So you shouldn't have any problems with spelling. You're basically just copying it down. But I do want you to include these two words that are in our parentheses. Okay, this is backwards for me, so here it is. We've got whether and or. So those are the two that we're going to use. Let's hear the sentence first, and then we'll decide where those two words are going to go. Nathan would become a surfman depending on the outcome of his training. He would become a doctor depending on the outcome of his training. Now I am hearing two depending on the outcome of his training. We don't have to include both. Let's just put that once. If we do that and combine it to make one sentence, that's going to be very repetitive and not make very much sense. So we've got Nathan would become a surfman. How about this? If we start our sentence with whether, and we'll capitalize it because it'll be the beginning of our sentence, whether Nathan would become a surfman or a doctor was depending on the outcome of his training. Or we could even say depended. We could change that word a little bit. See how I'm taking some words out of those two sentences? I'm combining the important words, but I'm taking the repetitive or the words that are used twice, taking those out. So I'm going to write whether Nathan would become a surfman or a doctor. See, I've got whether and or in there. Those are my correlative conjunctions, and I've got them both in that sentence. Depended on the outcome of his training. That's still kind of long, but it sure takes out a lot of words, so we're better off still. Pause the video if you need more time for that one. Okay, this next one's not as long. We'll be okay. Number 4. Rescues were often long. They were often dangerous. I've got that often, the were and often used twice. I think we're going to take one of those out, right? But the other part that we need to include is the both and that's in the parentheses at the end. So what if we did this? Rescues were often both long and dangerous. You see how I included those correlative conjunctions, the both and? Rescues were often long and dangerous. Write that down. We're often both long and dangerous. Sorry. We're often both long and dangerous. I'm going to circle my correlative conjunctions, both and, so you can see how I use them to create my sentence. Okay, guess what? You know it. You're doing the last one on your own because now we've practiced quite a bit. You're going to combine these two sentences, take out the repetitive words because you're going to include your correlative conjunctions at the end. They are not only and but also. Usually not only, I'm going to give you a hint here. Usually not only starts out the sentence, it's the very beginning. So try it. Not only was he a good swimmer. Finish it up. You got this.